This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
You're listening to the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. And now, here's your host, Lisa Rangel.
Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome to the 45th episode of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast. I'm Lisa Rangel, host of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast and founder of Chameleon Resumes. We are an executive resume writing, LinkedIn profile development, and job search consultancy firm that helps executives and high potential leaders land their next position faster. And on today's podcast, we're going to address how to find and stay ahead of trends in your career so you're always in demand and always employable. Staying in front of what's going on of today's global marketplace is no easy feat, with information coming at us like water coming out of a fire hose, with a constant flow of news stories, inventions, developments to keep up with. It can easily be an overwhelming full-time job just to stay ahead of your competitors, just to stay in the know. So I've come up with some streamlined ways to help you keep a finger on the pulse of your market and of your profession so you can always position yourself as the one in the know. First and foremost, look at leading publications of your industry, of your profession. Scan them religiously. I mean, not that you need to stay there and read every page from top to bottom, first page to last page, but I would say always scan the headlines, scan any articles that really grab your eye and look at those a little deeper. Know what everyone's talking about. Know what the common themes of change that other leaders seem to be bringing up. Always be on top of what the industry or your profession is buzzing about. That's a start. You can also then research each of those topics and come with a different perspective to the table with regards to that particular topic. So on that same note, secondly, once you know what everyone's buzzing about, have an opinion if it's relevant or not. Be able to back up why you think that way. Determine if what is being buzzed about is a new way of actually doing things in your industry that actually makes things better, or is it simply like a buzzword fest that really doesn't affect how work's getting done? It certainly doesn't make things better going forward. Have the practical expertise that you can contribute to in that discussion. All industries have the ideas that fall into these two categories. The ideas that actually make things better and more efficient, or the ideas that are just sort of like a mind spin and don't really do anything. So put yourself in a position to be curious as to which category the ideas fall into and discuss it in a diplomatic manner. People will respect the fact that you have an opinion because it shows that you have practical experience. Third, selectively attend conferences, professional associations, and industry events. And I say selectively since it's truly impossible to attend them all. But I suggest in being selective, look at who you will be meeting at the events as a bigger priority in your decision to attend than looking at the information that you're going to learn that's being presented. Most likely, the information being presented at the conference or the meeting, in most cases, is already online in some way, in some capacity, where you can read it or watch it. I mean, you can Google the title and see what either the industry association has already published on the matter, or maybe somebody else has written about it. So I always say Google the topics if you really want to learn about the topic. You don't have to wait to go to the meeting or the conference. But to me, that's not the draw. The information being presented is not the draw to a particular event. The event, the draw to the event for me that I decide whether I want to go or not are the types of people going and who you can meet. These meetings will help keep your network primed with experts who know what's coming based on their particular perspective and who you can ask about new trends as they arise, and they will come to learn what your expertise is, and they will reach out to you as trends arise based on your expertise and how you can contribute to that conversation. So prime your network with the best. Fourth, on that note, build a professional network of experts to whom you can ask questions in order to educate yourself on new topics, get their perspective, get their expertise. That's maybe not your expertise. You want people whom you can brainstorm with based on new ways of working in your field. So you're always improving. They're always improving. Those who stay ahead of trends don't always know about the new ideas firsthand, but they know people who know these new ideas firsthand. And those people are eager to share with you, and they want to flesh out those ideas with people who think innovatively, people who think differently. So be that person people call and have people who you can call. That's really the crux, I think, of staying ahead of trends. And last, and certainly not least, but the last as far as this podcast goes, sometimes those ahead of the trends are actually creating the trend, right? So you may have thought of a new way of streamlining accounting and the bookkeeping process using blockchain. That's a really hot topic in the accounting and finance field right now. Are you incredible at content marketing, where you can teach others how to attract leads using content versus finding leads to cold call? Are you incredible at using technology to improve client experiences at luxury hotels? That's another example where you can really be a forefront, a speaker at conferences, someone who's creating content on how to do that. If you're actually doing it, if you have the mindset in which to create those advances within your field, share it. You are the trend, essentially, in that particular area. So again, if you're creating the advances in your industry by simply always striving to create better, more efficient ways to work, again, you are the trend. So the bottom line is, whether you're creating the trend in a certain area or you're learning about trends from other experts, and then in turn you leverage the trend to stay ahead, the key is that you must stay ahead of the trends. You must remain relevant. You don't want to stay stagnant in the way you've always done things. That is absolutely not the right way to stay in demand. To stay in demand, you need to remain relevant and do the things that are in demand, which is really about staying knowledgeable and ahead of the trends. So while this may sound easy enough, my challenge to you is not everyone's going to do it. And the people that do stay ahead of the trends, they stay noticeable in their market, and they stay in the forefront of players' minds within their industry. So are you able to execute these steps on your own? If you feel like you're a little shaky, you're not going to be able to do this on your own, then hire us. Hire us for personal guidance on how to do this. Let us help you elevate your career, maintain your current level, stay relevant. That's the key. It's being proactive about your career in today's economy that is true executive job security. So go to executivejobsecurity.com and invest in our job security program, executive job security program. So you can work with our team of career performance coaches, and we can show you how to keep your market primed with and find these experts, make the connections. And this way you're staying on the radar for these high level positions. You're staying on the radar as someone who is in the know. People are going to come to you with their questions so you can give answers, or at least provide direction on where to get the answer. I don't want you to have to do this alone. So go to our career coaching resource found at executivejobsecurity.com. And in past episodes, we talked about the only way to truly protect yourself from job loss, the unexpected job loss, is to pretend you're fired today and make a list of the activities you would do now while you're still working, and do them in a methodical, paced manner. So this way, if you were unexpectedly let go, you'd be able to find your next job very quickly. And that job would be of equal or better prominence than what you have now. This is the crux of the Pretend You're Fired Today action list. I want you to be in demand when you need it, so you need to create the demand before you need it. This way, if your job situation changes unexpectedly, you don't see it coming. You already have pent-up demand for what you do. Your network already knows you are the point person as somebody in your industry. They know that because of the actions that I'm showing you here today and what we've discussed in prior episodes. So for the next few episodes of the Pretend You're Fired Today podcast, we're going to continue to go through a list of tactics and activities for you to do now, as if you were let go today, to ensure you are always employable and you are always ready for whatever the world brings your way. The first item on the list was getting your resume ready. We cover that in episodes 1 through 8. And the second item on that list was updating your profile, which you can review in episodes 9 through 12. And in the last 30 or so episodes, some of the topics we've covered are how to answer the salary question on interviews or to get a raise, how to work with third-party recruiters, ways to create 9 hours of job search time per week. I mean, even if you didn't use that for job search, how awesome would that be to just create 9 hours of time to do things that you want to do in a week? We also talk about the ABCs of job security. So you're going to want to revisit those episodes. If you go to pretendyourfiredtoday.com, you will see those episodes as well as other topics that we discussed over the last few weeks. So I'm so proud of you for being here on this podcast, taking these steps to making yourself marketable when you don't need it. Most people wait. And frankly, they don't even wait. They just think the unexpected job change is never going to happen to them. That happens to other people. But then boom, It happens to them and they weren't expecting it. And then they find themselves scrambling to learn all this information while needing to find a job. That is such crazy amount of pressure that it is sometimes avoidable by being on our podcast and implementing what we're showing you here today. So kudos to you for learning this and doing it before you need it. Doing it before you need it will help you stay relevant and help you remain employable. That is really the essence of remaining employable in today's economy. It's not about finding the job that you're going to be at for the next 25 years. Remaining employable is staying relevant. So then if you do need to find the job quickly, you're able to, and it's of equal or better in prominence for you. So make sure that you're doing this. So bravo to you. My friend saved me with her priceless advice. Pretend you're fired today, Lisa, and do these, make a list of activities you would do and start doing them. I mean, I'm so grateful that I'm paying it forward with you. And I ask you to pay this sentiment forward and share it with as many executives and rising professionals who you feel would benefit from this build it before you need it advice. Doing the steps suggested in this episode will help you find and stay ahead of trends to continue to stay relevant and employable if you're not already creating them yourself. Because the fact that you're here today tells me that you're already thinking ahead. So that's awesome. And in the next episode, we're going to discuss how to clean up and polish your online image. This is going to be fun, a little bit of a different direction we're taking, so you're not going to want to miss the next episode. And in the interim, if you want personalized coaching for your career to get you past this one area, or maybe you're struggling with another area, or you want to be proactive about something completely different in your career, go to executivejobsecurity.com and hire us to help you with these issues directly, and let us help you create continuous employability in your career. So I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks for joining me today, and be well.
This is the podcastfactory.com.